You were outdoors camping this weekend.
Yeah, I was camping at a campground in Dakota County with my best friend, a guy I've known. We just talked about this over the weekend. We've known each other now 42 years, which, considering we're only 51, that's quite a bit. But it's been my best friend forever and ever and ever. He grew up in scouting. Both of his kids made Eagle Scout. So he's done camping like with a capital C. I grew up as a noted indoorsman and, only recently kind of got into camping. And even my version of camping is still seeking a relatively high level of comfort while camping. Yeah. I've told him all along, my one absolute rule is I'm not digging a hole. And if you don't know what that means, you can figure that out. Yeah. So there's got to be facilities nearby.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair rule.
I think so. I think so. I don't have any desire to dig a hole. So, so we just went to the campground. It was chilly. We knew it was going to be chilly. It was very cool temperatures this weekend. But that made the campfire great. And we had a campfire going a bunch, and that was great to sit around and just, talk. And then there's a little bit of rain on Saturday. In between bouts of rain, we got out and walked around. There's trails all over the place. So we walked around a bit and just kind of checked things out.
You were in a tent?
Yeah, well, I have like a car tent set up, right? So it's really sleeping in the back of my vehicle with a bit of a tent extended off of it.
Okay.
He had an actual ground tent that he was on. You just bundle up as best you can, and the cold wasn't super obnoxious. It wasn't great, but
right,
could have been a lot worse.
What changes in you when you're in the outdoors?
You ever just like randomly take a big deep breath and relax your shoulders?
Yeah.
It's that for a weekend. For me.
Do you feel, because I look at this and think, this weekend I was definitely thinking that like I screwed up by not, like I had this sort of cabin culture attitude where it's like, why would I want another property to take care of?
Yeah.
I don't want to go sit in traffic for 3 hours to go mow the lawn. And this weekend, we're sitting there, and Alyssa's sister's kids were with us. So, the kids were having so much fun.
Yeah.
And we had like big fires. And I thought like, I maybe deprived my kids of an opportunity,
See, this is how they suck you in though, right? Because what you did was go visit someone else's cabin for which you have no responsibility whatsoever, right? And you think, oh, this is great. We could do this all the time. But then if it's your cabin, then you got to do all the upkeep and all the maintenance and all the mowing and all the things. And you have far less time to actually just sit and enjoy it. So first of all, I think your children had plenty of fun and did lots of really cool things growing up. So depriving them, no. Of this particular experience, I guess you could have figured out a way to kind of, find some more friends with cabins and do
that is the move.
Like, that's the way to go.
Yeah. The call is out. What is your place? I want to hear what makes you happy. Lots of texts coming in. I'll share your text. We'll take your calls if you want at 651-461-9226. A little bit of a cleansing weekend for both of us before we get back into the usual nonsense here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
In construction, things don't always go according to plan. Delays, disputes, unpaid invoices, they can cost you big. That's where Helmuth & Johnson comes in. Our construction law team focuses on contracts, litigation, lien claims, and more. Whether you're a contractor, developer, or supplier, we've got your back. Protect your project, protect your business. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com. If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Carl of Aspire Integrated Health. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the hands, feet, and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
So is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
Call 651-504-3333 today to schedule a nerve damage screening.
Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program.
Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 651-504-3333. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 651-504-3333. Dr. Lindsay Tevlin, DC. Results may vary.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA resumes now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Got time, but I don't mind. Just wanna rock.
All right, we're talking about your outdoor space. What outdoor space makes you happy? Texter says, I just have a fire in my backyard in the suburb I live in. I get the kids s'mores after I have a few beers. It feels just like a cabin. No 3-hour drive. I feel that. Like, that was my COVID experience for sure. We, like every other cliched suburbanite, got the solo stove. got that going for sure. Renville County, says a texter, lots of trail riding, fire time. Enjoying the outdoors other than the horse getting loose at 2 a.m. and meeting me outside the camper. It was great.
Hate it when that happens.
I do think ideally, if you have a great outdoor experience, it also comes with an other than a little funny story, right? For me, it was other than falling down the stairs and skinning off both of my shins and having Josh apply bacitracin to me. And I mean, you didn't stitch me up, Josh, but it was just shy of that.
I'm waiting for you to ask me to come redress your bandages.
It was a tender moment, I think, that we shared. You notice my wife in that moment, this is Josh Goolsby, who, you could say saved my life. Can't rule it out.
Pretty close.
Alyssa was just standing there, just paralyzed. You handled the whole situation.
I love to take care of people, Jason.
So you asked, before I wiped out on Chi-Chi's stairs, you were asking them to talk about what it was about Bay Lake that is magical for them. What is it for you? What is it that lake, that outdoors time, that time on the water does for you?
As Heather Brown asked me years ago, What is up north?
Name,
it's
name
north of
drop
the
alert
tension.
right there. That's
I love Heather. North of the tension line, somewhere in between Princeton and Zimmerman, and you get up north, and like you said, your worries lessen, and it's the air, it's the stars, it's the water, it's the freeness, but it's really the community. And growing up here on Bay Lake my whole life, I've always wanted to be here, and growing up in the restaurant industry in the cities, I've always wanted my own, so it came together, and it's truly a dream come true. But the community, the feel, here on Bay Lake, generations have grown up next to generations of neighbors. There's not a whole lot of turnover, and people have known each other forever, and it's just a unbelievable sense of community.
cool. So good. Thanks, Josh. We had so much fun this
Hey,
weekend.
hold on. I wanted
All right,
to.
go ahead.
The reason for me calling in, you guys are talking about go find someone else's cabin because they don't have the upkeep. That's easy for you. But on the flip side, it's really great to have friends up, because if you and Alyssa and Alyssa's sister and family weren't up this weekend, I wouldn't have been on your dock at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been making that cruise. We wouldn't have been having lunch at Rutgers and having the owner of Odyssey Resorts and the TJ McMillan and the GM Michael Cameron of Rutgers and the food and beverage manager Alex Hill come down and bring us lunch that we ordered so we could stay on the lake as long as possible. And they drop down our boat and then we go and have lunch. We wouldn't have seen Chi-Chi. I wouldn't have seen Chi-Chi if it wasn't for you. So all those things that we got to do yesterday was really spawned by friends coming up and wanting to share Bay Lake. So that was my point. You say you want to come up and use other people's cabins, but we love having friends up and sharing our bit of the world with you too. So I had a great day yesterday. So much fun. I'm sitting on the dock missing you. So come back soon.
All right. I will. Thank you, Josh. If you're watching on the stream, I have Josh and the Rutgers guys and that picture up right now. Pretty fun. It's good that I feel a little less like a freeloader, at least there's some benefit on the other side. Let's talk to Phil from Woodbury. Phil, you're on CCO. What's your outdoor space that kind of makes magic for you?
Well, come on, Jay. I want to say first thing, how are you doing?
Thank you. I am bandaged up.
I heard the bad news, but you know what? You will recover. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
And I've been telling you this for every time I call in, but we have a cabin up by, and I know that your other buddy out by Bay Lake. It's the community, it's the people, it's generations. Here's what I was gonna say, and I keep telling you, you come up to Phil's place, man. I got an extra snowmobile. I've been trying to get you to come up.
I know
there
this year's got to be the snowmobile year for me.
And you know what? A little grass cutting, and maybe you gotta fix the dock a little bit. You know what? Once you're up north, all your stress and all your worries go away, and then. You know what kind of bites is when you come home on Sunday and you go, man, I'm not gonna see this place for a whole week.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta love it up there, and for me, it's in my blood.
I do think it gets in the blood for sure. Phil, I'm gonna come snowmobile this year.
I hope you do.
Let's make it happen. Did you
if
send me an
wait-
email? Send me an email.
Okay, I'll try to do that. But you know what?
Then I'll remember. So Jason at odyssey.com is how you can email me.
Okay, but you know what? If I have to wait in traffic 5 hours to get up there, I'm going to do it.
All right. See, that's dedication. Thank you, Phil. Now, Jonathan on YouTube saying Jason and snowmobiling sounds like a accident waiting to happen. That's fair.
Well, I mean, if you can't handle a stair.
Yeah. It was not my finest moment. No question about it. Another texter asking if my fall, Jason, your fall did not affect your career as a hand model, I hope. Yeah, my hands are just fine. I still have, these are, you meet some people who have kind of working man's hands, and these are the delicate hands of a television news anchor and now an afternoon drive radio host. Jason, if you do the cabin thing, better off doing it where you are in a small association so you don't have
that's fair.
So much of the outdoor upkeep to do. That makes sense. That makes sense for sure. Cabins are great until you start having problems and you're all the way down in the cities. Can't just run up in an instant to Brainerd to fix it.
Also a
I
very
think
fair
that's
point.
fair.
Yep.
Yeah. All of these things are. It is the trade-off, right? You're like, it is the trade-off.
It is. One of the reasons that I love camping is that, it's a variety of places then. I mean, and I'm sure if you love your cabin in the area you're cabin in, that's great. I'm not trying to knock that at all. But, the beauty of camping is then you can go all over the state and try different levels.
Sort of the RV life too, right?
Sure.
Where
Same thing.
Yeah. Outdoor spaces people love. The Cantina at Grandview.
That counts.
We love Grandview.
That counts.
That Cantina is a nice place to be hanging out for sure. Spectacle Lake in Isanti County, Cross Lake. So many good spots for sure. Empty nester. A boat on the St. Croix River. When the weekend is over, you just lock the door. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Grand Marais. Grand Marais is beautiful. Lake Superior. I also think like this time of year, the fall and winter is sort of underrated for some of this spot. We're very like summer focused, but there was tranquility for sure. Now, there was nothing tranquil about Saturday. It was windy and cold. I could have done with 10 more degrees.
It
would have been nice. You feel the same way.
It was a chilly evening Saturday night for sure. But like I said, for me, that was okay in terms of, it just was another excuse to build up the campfire.
Yeah.
Sit around that. So
we had a large campfire.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. Pretty fun. Joe from Egan says, I need Minute Clinic as a sponsor.
There you go. I like that idea.
Right? Jason here.
We'll take some of that big Minute Clinic money.
When I fell down the stairs on Bay Lake and needed a supersized bandage, I called my friends at Minute Clinic. Very good. Thanks, everybody. Let's break. When we come back, Vikings in effect tonight. Finally, it feels like such a long wait for Vikings Bears. We're going to talk to former Minnesota Viking Robert Smith and his efforts with a new app that is designed to get fans to get active. We'll talk about that next.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here with news for you about the fall. Because a lot of times you think fall, you think, it's too late to do anything about my landscaping. I'll think about it in the spring. No. My friends at Pro Turf want you to think about doing your landscaping, planting trees, planting shrubs, planting perennials, and doing it now. Right now is such a special time to reach out to my friends at Pro Turf, and they're a Minnesota family-owned company. Pro Turf's been around since the early 1980s, so they've got a track record a mile long, and it's a good one. They wouldn't be in business if they weren't taking care of people, operating in an honest and open way. So you go to professionalturf.com right now, fill out the form to get a free estimate, and they can do anything. You want a small project, maybe you want to rip out some plants that you don't like how they look, they're overgrown, they're not growing the way you want to. Your style is different from the previous people you bought the home from. If you spend $4,000, they'll give you a free tree, 6-inch pine tree or a 2-inch or a 6-foot pine tree or a 2-inch diameter sugar maple. Great value from great people. Get to the website. Let's go. Fall is such a good time. The soil is cool. The trees take root awesomely. Do not worry about the winter. And when they're doing hardscape and new driveways and new patios and new retaining walls, they can do that until the ground has had a hard freeze. So there's plenty of time to go to Pro Turf. Professionalturf.com is the website, or call 952-469-8680.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, Minnesota fans! Join Vanita Sakar from the Morning News Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie, located at 8045 Flying Cloud Drive, Suite 100. Come talk football, show your Minnesota pride, and have a chance to win great prizes. Get in on the fun this Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Roadwork helping to slow you down. Highway 10 westbound at Hanson Boulevard is where you'll find the work zone and the ramp to Hanson Boulevard currently closed with the construction continuing. In the meantime, traffic on the main line of Highway 10, that's packed and stacked. That all begins back at Egrid. 394 eastbound plugged up is make way between 100 and downtown Minneapolis. South 94 is slowing from Highway 55 heading over 235W. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast is brought to you by Robert Smith, former Minnesota Viking, and his app Fan Huddle. Here is Chris Schaefer's forecast.
Scattered showers are possible overnight tonight as we fall back to 62. We'll keep those showers in the area with a high of 73 tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, we dry out up to 76. Dry Thursday into the weekend with highs climbing into the low 80s.
Right now, it is a little windy out there, but the temperature sure is warmed up. It's 79 degrees in Minneapolis on CCO.
Drive time with DeRUSHA.
I cannot imagine a more embarrassing moment in my life. It is inconceivable that I would ever do such a thing.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, big Minnesota Vikings game tonight. Vikings-Bears, we're always excited when the season finally gets underway. A lot of question marks this season for sure. And a Minnesota Vikings legend is with us in studio. Robert Smith. I know, Robert's looking around like, where? Come on now. Come on now.
I was talking to Johnny Randall earlier. He just did a video for us. For Fan Huddle, so I was thinking, maybe Johnny came down here.
Right.
A former Vikings player, wouldn't say a legend.
It is good to have you here.
Oh, great to be here.
It's fun to have the season starting, right? You still get excited. Obviously, you work as an analyst as well, and so you're.
Yeah, well, I work the college game,
college,
but just
right?
having the football back, it's just so different. And as much as anything, as much as you love kind of the news cycle, the 24-hour news cycle, and 365. I'm tired of talking about football, and I just want to see it.
See it,
and you know what? And more than anything tonight, I want to see something real, right? Like preseason football, everybody's like, oh, this guy looks great, and he's going to be this, he's going to be that. If you're a player, you know preseason football is a world different from regular season football, and regular season football is a world difference from playoff football.
Yeah, and especially this year. And I guess, think back to like when you were a rookie, where expectations are high, of course, but
for me,
were the expectations high for you? Yes.
Well, I think so. This is what happened. Terry Allen had just set the team record in rushing the year before. I was drafted in the first round.
You're a first round draft,
right? But everybody thought that I was just going to be kind of a change of pace, and there was going to be time to work me into the lineup. And then Terry Allen tore his ACL in training camp. So maybe the expectations ramped up. I was staying away from the newspapers, but I think people just kind of felt that with Roger Craig here, they brought in Barry Word. Maybe very few people can remember that far because it was 32 years ago.
I mean, this was 1993,
It
right?
sure was.
Yeah. It is so different today, the media environment, the constant social media, the nonstop talk, analyst type shows that are on, the argument shows, all of these things.
Yeah,
I wonder
but
if it's the same when you get on the field, right?
Well, there's a lot of yapping that goes on, but it's mostly talking.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, mostly playing, but there's some talking.
Yeah.
But you only have to worry about what you pay attention to in the media, right? And I think that's the biggest lesson. And it's probably even more primary and probably focused on a lot more with players today and taught a lot earlier. Like, don't worry, who cares?
Right.
Like, if they don't have anything to do with wins and losses, why do you care?
Yeah. 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 It takes some discipline, I suppose, for kids who grew up in an era that they were consuming that all the time to be able to just put it aside.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess,
It's just different. I can't imagine what
as
it would be like,
as they say, you don't choose your future, you choose your habits, and your habits determine your future. Well, habits are hard to break, right? So it's tough to get a kid that follows social media all the time to say, all right, I'm going to stop following it, especially when I know it's going to be a bunch of noise for me.
For sure.
A rat poison, as Nick Saban liked to say.
I like that. Robert Smith is with us. You're working on Fan Huddle. Tell me about Fan Huddle.
Yeah, so fanhuddle.live, it's been a concept for me, and it's really about turning fan passion into happier and healthier living. And, that motto about, not determining your future, you choose your habits, and that kind of points you to your future. Well, I thought, why don't we take something that people are already passionate about, which is these athletes and their favorite teams and some influencers, and we give them some content from those people, kind of show them healthy lifestyle choices, but then also give them an opportunity to compete against other fan base. I know we had a talk, and we'll show some of that technology, but basically what we want people to do here over the next couple of weeks, the Vikings and the Browns fan base. I was at the Browns game yesterday. The Browns and the Vikings play October 5th in London. We've got a third party called Wellnify. That's our technology partner right now. So you're going to be redirected to their app. And we've got Browns fans, Vikings fans. And basically, if you register, you got a chance to win a trip to the game in London.
It's amazing, right?
And the Vikings fans, how crazy is this? The Viking fan that wins it, because there's going to be a Browns winner and a Vikings winner, the Vikings fan that wins it is going to be on the team plane on the way back from
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
How did you I mean, you look at this stuff, and I know the NFL and the Players Association, everybody's pretty careful about who they partner with. Like, being able to get this to happen had to be a bit of an effort, right?
Well, it's a very long story. Let me shorten the story. Somebody said it best, that, we're kind of a product of our experiences. Science was my first love as a kid. My mother was a registered nurse. I worked in a hematology oncology lab doing cloning and sequencing of genes when I was 19 years old at Ohio State. When I worked with the NFLPA, I started working with the NFLPA in 1994, thanks to Steve Jordan, who was the team rep at the time and was, trying to keep me from being so selfish, but kind of learning the value of exclusive rights, and then reading about the founding of Facebook, and then learning about apps. Like, all of this stuff kind of came together in my head. Like, let's combine digital health, mobile technology, social media, gamification. Let's have the fun, the excitement, the passion of sports, but really make it about behavioral change. And like, this is just the beginning. Like, the exercise, augmented reality, that's just the beginning, because the next phase of this, because of the tools from AI,
right,
we're going to have AI-powered nutrition, AI-powered mental health and wellness. How about this? Just using the microphone of your phone and listening the same way that a doctor does in an office, but this is better. You just use the microphone of your phone, clinical grade cardiac assessment that identifies murmurs, that identifies aortic stenosis, that identifies irregular rhythms. Like, that's the future. Being able to get this comprehensive view of what a person's eating, how they're sleeping, are they exercising, getting some of these kind of challenges, the friend challenges, friends being able to basically get a healthy form of this peer pressure, right? Instead of
that competition, I don't know. I think back when I was in college, my roommate, Chris, and I, he loved to go to the gym and I did not, right? But he was like, all right,
who could shotgun the most beers?
Right. That would be a competition I could
go.
participate in. But he wanted to go to the gym, and I'm like, all right, like, let's make it a challenge, and then that does motivate.
No, I think I think it's great to have family and friends that you can have your fun with the sports, but I think that's kind of our whole idea, is that people are so excited about their teams and that community, and they want to earn some prestige in that community. Well, allow them to get real world rewards. Now, look, not every challenge is going to have the reward of a game in London, but we can do some cool things. We'll get a chance to meet some players and just provide that little extra bit of motivation, because so many people, they sign up for gym memberships at the beginning of the year and then they don't use it. And the gyms don't mind, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're like,
take
oh,
your
this
money.
is great.
Yeah.
We'll take your money. But this is a free experience right now. We've got more than 1,000 videos out there, and there'll always be some free version of it at some point.
So
we'll have some content that will be premium. Like, we have full workouts, we have 6-week workouts, everything from Pilates at beginner level all the way up to expert level type exercises.
Cool. Robert Smith is with us. In the break, we will do a little burpee challenge.
Nice. We're going to do it in the break?
Well, people can watch it on the stream.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to youtube.com and WCCO Radio, click the live button or our Facebook page, and we'll do that during the break. And, I'll probably still be trying to get my first or second burpee done.
I'm still breathing a little heavy from doing it before the show.
By the time we come back. The website that you can go to, that's kind of the portal to all of this, is fanhuddle.live. So you go there and that kind of gets you to where you need to sign up and all of that good stuff. Robert Smith will do some burpees, and then we'll talk about the Vikings, maybe a little JJ talk when we come back here on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here with a reminder that this time of year, a lot of people think like, oh, we're done with the sun. We're done with sunscreen. We're done with worrying about that. You're not done. My friend, Dr. Mohiba Tareen, who takes care of me, my wife, my teenagers, my in-laws, she takes care of the whole DeRUSHA family. Tareen Dermatology wants you to use that sunscreen every day. And this time of year, as we get into the fall, and kind of the kids are back to school, maybe you're into more of a normal routine than what you were in this summer. Now is a great time to make that appointment. If you've never had a full body skin checkup, I go every year because my dad had skin cancer. My wife's dad had skin cancer. So Alyssa goes every 6 months to make sure that nothing is kind of growing out a weird shape, weird color, any of those hallmarks that we think we know what to look for. Dr. Mohiba Tareen, more than 25 board certified providers, they know what to look for. You can book an appointment online. I talk about this all the time. My favorite thing, well, Dr. Mohiba is my favorite thing. But the fact that you can get in at one of 9 different dermatology clinics in the Twin Cities area, including Hudson, you can get in within 3 weeks. So many dermatologists, you try to get an appointment, it takes you 3, 4, 5 months. Tareen is Tareen, dermatology.com.
Thielen Meats of Piers is where tradition meets taste.
Family grown, employee owned. We've mastered the art of meat.
That
on over here.
Should I kill the board feed?
I did. I think I did.
No, I did.
I did. All right.
All right, you guys get the special in-break performance here. All right, we're in.
So are we on now?
Yep, you're on. They can
Okay,
hear
so
us.
All right, so we launched a challenge. You go into the Friends Challenge app or part of the app, and then you can send it to one of your friends. I sent it to Ellie on that phone. So then we launch with the AR. You saw me doing this earlier.
Yep.
So we set the phone down on the ground, and you get this really cool little skeleton that pulls up that starts tracking your body. All right.
So it's going to count your.
It's going to count the reps.
Like how much time does it give you?
30 seconds. You got to
let me
back
get out
up.
of the way. I don't
Don't
wanna get-
interfere with my AR, damn it. Okay. So you align yourself the way that the figure wants to go, and then they'll get 30 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go.
And then it automatically counts the reps. I'm not going to talk because I don't want to.
This is very good. Ding. That is quality. Our commenters have been saying like Robert Smith in great shape. Might be in is he in better shape than in the running back days? Might be. All right. Woo!
So now Ellie gets it on her phone.
All right. So now I go.
Yeah.
All right.
You got a minute to try.
Let's go. Let's go. So it's gotta track me first.
Yes.
So is it Mike?
Ellie's right.
Doing this one?
Ellie's like, I don't know how to.
There you go.
All right.
Get as many as you
I mean,
can.
that's impressive. Dan, you want to do weather for me while I'm doing this?
Okay.
All right. So I calibrate this way.
Yeah, back up a little bit. There you go. Don't hit your head against the wall.
It's working out, I think. Like two. Oh, it's not. It's not.
Let's see it. Stay there. There you go. Go. Oh, there it is, Stu. 1, go. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Oh, yeah. He's rocking it. That's pretty damn good.
What'd I get?
You
7?
got 7. You're not done.
Oh, it's still going?
You got 2 seconds.
All right, I'll take one more. 8. Not bad.
That was awesome.
Not bad.
So we got to get the complete thing on here.
That's great.
You leveled up.
App to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on Chef IQ with code word WCCO for 15% off. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, I just did what? Hit the
You
button.
have trees to trim or need tree removal? Call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO Land Company I use. B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034. Or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
I want a treat for our online audience. If you missed it, you can go to YouTube.
Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I left. I feel like. I left a couple seconds on the table there.
Did.
All right, we'll recap that in just a minute. First, the forecast from B&M Tree Service tonight: scattered showers, low of 62. Same bit tomorrow, 73 is the high. Dry after that into the weekend. We'll finally see the 80s by Friday. Right now, it's 79 and windy, and I'm only a little out of breath here on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way? Analysis and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler. The dailyagenda.com.
So I love how excited Robert is about this thing. The technology is so cool. During the break, and you can go back and watch this on YouTube or on our Facebook page. You can actually rewind live while the live broadcast is going on YouTube on the WCCO radio channel. Robert and I both got 30 seconds.
Yep.
The technology, what's the
It's augmented reality.
So fanhuddle.live.
So you go to fanhuddle.live, and we partnered with Wellnify.
So Wellnify,
is
the
our
technology sort of,
platform.
it read you, it read me. And then as we did burpees, it counted it, which is sort of amazing.
And so it identifies and counts reps for more than 100 different movements.
Oh my God.
And then it can put you into individual and team leaderboards. So we've talked about having like Vikings versus Packers game of the week, and then you can have virtual push-ups,
So
sit-up,
cool, yeah.
all those competitions. But here's the greatest part. You can dial the sensitivity up and down. So I know there's a big movement, and we like to say that we're a movement. You can dial the sensitivity up or down. So if it's kids, you can dial the sensitivity down so the reps don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But if they're high performers like you,
right,
then it has to be a perfect rep.
You did how many burpees in 30
11.
seconds? 11. Afternoon radio guy who stopped about 6 seconds early because we didn't have the sound on. I'm gonna blame Molly.
I'm not.
All right, we're gonna say 3. But I did. What did I do? 7? 8?
You did 8.
8.
That was good.
Not bad.
And we'll see. I mean, there's a challenge. You can sponsor it. Well, you don't have to sponsor it. Just go on and say, I'm going to challenge. And
then
fans that can beat me, if you beat me, then you can come and you can run the show tomorrow.
Technology's impressive. Man. So cool. Robert Smith, we only have about 30 seconds left, but I know like Vikings fans are very excited to see what we have with JJ McCarthy tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it too. And like, I guess it doesn't surprise me because of this organization, like the way KOC is. I mean, he's like that every day, everywhere he is, off the field, on the field. Quasi's like that. JJ is the most humble superstar I've seen. He's like the easiest guy to talk to. He tried to tackle me last year when he was coming off the field from practice. But yeah, hopefully he'll be healthy. We won't know for sure, but it'd be nice to see.
Be fun to see. Thanks for coming in. This was really fun. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Robert.
Thanks for having me.
Fanhuddle.live. Check it out. Kate Raddatz will join us top of the hour.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20 service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Our voices, your voices on the voice of Minnesota. News Talk 830 WCCO and 1029 HD2 Minneapolis St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This
is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Supreme Court has cleared the way for federal agents to conduct sweeping immigration operations in Los Angeles. Camilo Montoya Galvez reports it's another victory for President Trump at the High Court.
We have seen in Southern California over the past months really controversial immigration raids that advocates say have been indiscriminate in nature. The Supreme Court is allowing those operations for the time being to continue.
Flor Menendez represents car wash workers in Los Angeles.
81 car washes have been raided, many of them more than 3 or 4 times. Approximately 247 car wash workers have disappeared from our communities. This is just unacceptable.
The governor's office in Illinois says it's waiting for formal word from the White House about the federal deployment in Chicago. CBS's Scott McFarland reports it's a political tightrope for the administration.
And National Guard troops has served political interests for the president, but also it allows him to continue to argue that his administration is taking a hard line, tough stance against crime, which has served him well politically. But it also in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles, where this has been attempted before, the deployment of the National Guard has served to galvanize people on behalf of the local leaders in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles.
The Trump administration's asking the Supreme Court for an emergency order to keep frozen billions of dollars in foreign aid. CBS News political reporter Melissa Quinn.
At least one Republican in the Senate, Susan Collins, who is head of the Senate Appropriations Committee, says this attempt to unilaterally claw back this $4 billion in funding is not legal. Congress has the power of the purse under the Constitution, and the president does not get to just not spend money that Congress has already approved.
In the Middle East, the Israeli prime minister has warned Palestinians in Gaza City to leave now as Israel ramps up its offensive. Earlier today, there was an attack in Israel, as the BBC's Wyrie Davies reports.
Today's attack at an intersection to the north of Jerusalem was one of the worst attacks we've seen in Israel for some while. In all, 6 people have been killed. Many more have been seriously injured when 2 armed Palestinians, a man of 20 and another of 21, came into Israel from the occupied West Bank. They boarded a bus and they opened fire with guns.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. The Dow Jones Industrials were up 114 points. The Nasdaq 98 points higher. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 78 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. After thousands of dollars in fines and citations, the Minneapolis City Council votes to sue a landlord who has been allowing a homeless encampment on his property. Hamoudi Sabri has not paid his fines and has so far refused to close the encampment down unless he is presented with a court order. Councilmember Aisha Chugtai is among those who opposed taking this legal action.
Humanity is not a lawsuit. Dignity is not a lawsuit, and concern for public health and public well-being is not found in a lawsuit.
Sabri's parking lot near Lake Street and 28th Avenue South was declared a public health nuisance by the city earlier this summer, with no public toilets or running water, and nearby business owners and neighbors reporting an uptick in drug dealing and paraphernalia. Minnesota's doctors adding their voices to the growing calls for legislation to address gun violence following the deadly mass shooting at Annunciation Church.
The physicians of Minnesota want action, and we want action now.
Dr. Laurel Reese is the immediate past president of the Minnesota Medical Association, which, along with 4 other physician advocacy organizations, sent Governor Tim Walz a letter asking that he call for a special session to address firearm violence.
As physicians, it's our goal to minimize deaths and injuries. It's our job.
They're calling for a statewide ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, a safe storage law, and for municipalities to be able to enact stricter firearm regulations than the state. Reese says the suffering doesn't end for communities impacted by gun violence.
We need to put an end to these injuries and stop them whenever we can.
Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The Minnesota Court of Appeals upholds the conviction of a man who was at one point released from prison, but then sent back when guns were found in his car. Mayan Burrell's defense team claimed the search of Burrell's car during a 2023 traffic stop was illegal. Burrell had previously spent 18 years of a life sentence for the 2002 death of 11-year-old Taisha Edwards, who was hit by a stray bullet. The state pardons board commuted his sentence after an investigation revealed new evidence and serious flaws in that investigation. Police are searching for suspects following an overnight homicide in South Minneapolis. It happened on the 1900 block of Elliott Avenue South around 1 a.m., where a man in his 40s was found shot to death outside. A Minneapolis man's exoneration is highlighting justice reform efforts in Hennepin County.
After nearly 3 decades in prison, Brian Hooper was exonerated after a key trial witness confessed to the crime during an investigation by the county's Conviction Integrity Unit. Hooper expressed gratitude for his family and all those who fought for his release.
I can't begin to explain what it felt like to be sent to prison for a crime you didn't commit. But I knew one thing, that I was never going to stop fighting for my freedom.
County Attorney Mary Moriarty, who created the unit, will not seek re-election, leaving the future of these reforms up in the air. But in the meantime, the office will continue to review other cases similar to Hooper's. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830, WCCO.
Vikings season opener tonight, taking on the Bears in Chicago on Monday Night Football. Kickoff at Soldier Field at 7:15. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash on 494 eastbound to be on the lookout for. It's in the area of Maxwell Avenue. They were blocking the left lane last time I checked. Traffic is jammed up as you come in from 7th Avenue. So get ready for the delays at southeast corner of the Metro. Traveling 10 westbound, that's jammed up. University heading up into the work zone at Hanson Boulevard. Northbound Lafayette Bridge. Still got the accident working there. Left lane shut down. Also activity off to the right shoulder. It is slow as you make way toward Concord. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And yes, it is brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader. Find them at Dickeys.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
After 5 consecutive days with highs in the 60s, we hit the 70s today. Scattered showers are going to be possible tonight as well as tomorrow. That'll keep us a little cooler with a high of 73. Partly cloudy, mid-70s Wednesday. We have a shot at hitting 80 by Thursday. Highs will be in the 80s heading into the weekend.
Mostly cloudy right now, 78 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Streaming live for the 9 to 5 and every other hour of the day too. News Talk 830 WCCO. Available free anywhere in the world on the Odyssey app. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Now, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Still a little out of breath from doing burpees. When you're competing against Robert Smith, who, by the way, just ripped.
Yeah, he's in great shape. You're in better shape than you used to be.
That is low praise.
Well,
but it is praise. Could you have done, welcome to Drive Time, by the way.
I couldn't have done 2 of those things without injuring
did
myself badly.
8 burpees.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, I'm doing this less than 24 hours after I had a life-threatening fall.
Serious leg injury.
A lower body. What would they call this in hockey?
Oh, yeah, definitely lower body injury.
Lower body injury. We can't be specific
can't
about the fact that
somebody might target you. You never know.
I have contusions on both legs and both knees. After
contusions, abrasions,
all of those.
Yeah, all the gens.
So many gens. Pretty fun. Worth checking out on the video stream, and we'll see if our video guru can edit that into a standalone clip. But I'm doing my best doing burpees with Robert Smith in advance of the Vikings-Bears game tonight. That is where we're going to start our conversation with Kate Raddatz on the Rad Report.
She's an Emmy Award-winning reporter.
Yeah, I love it.
She's a senior public relations pro. She can belt out the national anthem better than most.
It's a process. Like, you got to find someone to do it with because it's not fun by yourself. So I don't know.
But maybe the most important role she plays coming at the stories of the day from the perspective of a millennial mom. Let's all learn a thing or two from the mind and filter of Kate Raddatz.
Yeah, there you go. There's what's happening.
This is the Rad Report.
Kate Raddatz with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Hi, Kate.
Hello.
So, football Sunday, yesterday, I found myself watching the Packers and the Lions. And a great game for our listeners who are Green Bay fans. When you see the Packers and Lions play each other, as a Vikings fan, I have to pick a team to hate more. And I think I hate Detroit more right now. I know that maybe that's a
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it typically goes, but
no,
yeah.
And also not for me, but for many years we didn't even really have to consider Detroit, so it wasn't worth our hatred.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now they're worthy of hate, I think. So I guess I was glad to see the Packers win yesterday. When it comes, the question I asked people on social media today is about where you watch the game. And I'd love for people to text in their answers. It's 651-461-9226. My options for people are at home, alone, like with your family, at home or at a home with friends. So do you want to be around other people? Do you go to a sports bar, or are you just out? You're not watching. Kate Raddatz, how are you watching a game?
It's changed in the season. I would say right now we watch a lot at friends' houses, together.
So is it the game, or is it the social experience, or is it both?
Definitely the social experience. And also because unless it's just my husband and I, it's easy to have the kids running around in the background and the adults can, chat and watch and everything. So I mean, when we, before we had kids, we went out all the time, and on weekends we still do too, but it's pretty rare during the week that I even get a chance to watch a football game. But, I would say with friends. Yeah. How about you?
I do think like at the phase of life you're in right now, when you have kids in a younger age and you can bring them to hang out with other kids with a game on,
right?
Pretty fun. That's a pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like tonight, just probably Alyssa and I will watch at home. As I've gotten older, I do enjoy the sports bar, like the social, especially when you get into like the high stakes games where you can have that. Now, Vikings games for me in person, it's not a cheap ticket. So with the family of four, like we've been, but not often, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll change with now that it's just Alyssa and me. So it's just 2 tickets. It's maybe a little more affordable.
Yep.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It's a different experience. I don't know. And I feel like certain sports I also just enjoy more not being live too, like being there.
Right. Yes.
Like I love basketball in person. I agree. I think it is different when you're watching it there versus at home. But maybe you will now because you're right. It isn't cheap.
It's a little cheaper. Yes, our cost is now in half. So
you've saved money. You've already made money. So the math is there.
The math is there for sure. Do you do fantasy football or anything like that?
That would be a no, Jason.
That's a no. So
my entire family is on a thread that I am a part of, and they are aware that I am just there to observe and chime in and make commentary. But John is the team. My husband is the team.
Yeah.
So yes,
we have a fantasy football league with Alyssa's family, and Alyssa. So always someone is into it more than I am. right? Like
Uh-huh.
my level of interest in fantasy football is somewhere between like a 0 and a 1. Like
You would be me.
I don't care. I don't find it
I don't
fun.
care.
I like to cheer
No.
for my team being the Minnesota Vikings. Like I do not care about cheering for Jason's whatever my dumb team, my empty nesters or whatever ridiculous team I have. I don't care.
Yes.
Am I supposed to know about every random wide receiver? And then
Yes.
like my nephews who are like 11 and 9 are like want to get in an in-depth conversation about all this stuff, and it's like I had to pretend to care about Arsenal soccer when Sam was here at home. I'm not going to care. I'm not pretending to care about my nephew's fantasy sports team. I'm not doing it.
I try to look at it as, okay, everyone has different hobbies. I understand this, so I try to look at it that way and know that it's not my hobby. It is not my thing. So
Are you
It's just
prepared?
like a lot of work,
It is
to remember
yes.
all the stuff.
Well,
So
are you prepared for like sort of this part of parenting that there will come a time where one of your kids will be so into something that you don't care about? But
I mean,
like Alyssa, to her credit, what I think Alyssa's greatest achievement in parenting is the fact that like she got educated on Arsenal and she knew like all this stuff. And you're like, I just watched this and I'm like, I can't even pretend. Like the fact
so
that
you didn't pretend. You didn't pretend that you're like, I don't care.
I would watch the games. I would watch the games
Yeah.
with Sam. It was fun to watch the game, but like I wouldn't pretend that like I knew about whoever was being relegated or whoever they were selling or buying or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I don't know. I mean, my son is really into, our oldest is 6, so it's so hard. I mean, he's really into fishing, really loves fishing. And
Where
he
are
has that
you
with
at?
my dad.
Where are you at on fishing?
That's a great question. I love Minnesota, Jason. He's great.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand, but I go and I take him, but I'm not touching that fish.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you go for it. This is your thing. So, yeah, I don't know how I'll navigate that. It's pretty hard for me to hide how I feel about something. So I can support you while
Yes.
also saying it's not my thing. So
I like it. It is funny when the kids get so into something. And like the truth is, especially at a certain age, like there's plenty to talk about, but also not that much to talk about. So like if they're obsessed about something, that's like part of parenting, right? Like you gotta, all right, like we'll be into fishing. Okay. We'll be into Premier League football. All right. Okay.
Right.
I mean, there are worse things. We're not into like, carjacking or fentanyl. Like I don't need to know about that. I'm not that involved in that. That's good.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It feels like a win when they're into
My husband would be thrilled if they're into fantasy football. So they'd be fine. They'd survive.
you just make the prize what kids get into, like the whatever the prize is, whatever, but they're mostly excited about the punishment for the player who comes in last. So when you lose the fantasy football league, often families or friend groups will set a punishment. So like that can be fun where it's like, all right, you got to do the hot wings challenge or you got to do whatever. And then like the kids like hope that mom has to do the hot wings challenge, and that's entertaining,
Okay. That I like. That's fun.
No, makes sense. Kate Raddatz is with us. We're going to break. When we come back, I want to ask you, Star Tribune announced today that they're closing their printing plant here in Minneapolis. So the Star Tribune, the physical paper, is going to be printed in Des Moines, Iowa. What do we still want? Is it time for people like me to get over it? That the paper isn't going to be around? We'll chat about that in just a minute. Kate Raddatz here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Driving around up to Bay Lake and the Brainerd Lakes area, I felt like I was with a friend. on the journey. That friend who is tracking me from the suburbs of Minneapolis to Lake Mille Lacs was my guy, Chris Lindahl. You just think, I'm like, I haven't talked to Chris in a bit, and there he is. And he's saying, get a fresh start. Arms are wide out. Chris Lindahl has been super busy. Lots of things in the real estate market, in the news, that have more and more people reaching for a guaranteed cash offer. The number one reason people take a guaranteed cash offer, I thought it was that people just wanted the money. They wanted the money. They wanted no headaches. They didn't want to do improvements or whatever. The number one reason Chris said people are doing the guaranteed cash offer is the speed. That they just want to get on with their life. They want a fresh start. They don't have time for the house to hold you back. They don't have time for the gamble of whatever the news cycle du jour is going to be in the housing market. They just want to be done. Chris can help you with that. Chris Lindahl can get you to the finish line on a house sale in as little as 2 days. Just 2 days. The time for a fast path to a fresh start, it's right now. Get your guaranteed cash offer. You see him on the billboard, go check it out. He's my friend. He's a good dude. He's a Minnesotan. He is at chrislindahl.com.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contract. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
You can do this. Why? Because no one cares more about your money than you. Right now, many have concerns about their retirement, their investments. Are these mutual funds a poor investment? Did you know that with the average fees of 2%, you could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars? That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class, local classrooms, one-on-one mentoring, how to protect your investments against inflation. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
What do you call a creator who's also an influencer?
Jason DeRUSHA.
You've got like 75 million followers.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Kate Raddatz is with us. The Rad Report, our monthly visit as we start September on this cold weekend. My goodness, it was chilly for sure. So the news.
I loved it.
I know you're all about fall. I do like multiple. I like the layers. I was fine with it. Other than I had like my weekend getaway up on Bay Lake, and I'm tooling
Oh,
around
sure.
on the lake, it's 60 degrees and a 20-mile-an-hour wind. I wasn't too thrilled about that.
It was abrupt. It was pretty jarring. It was.
And
a
then it'll be
quick
80
transition.
this weekend again. So
I know.
don't know. That's sort of this time of year for sure. So as a former TV news reporter, you and I have both watched a lot of changes in media. I still was surprised today to see the Minnesota Star Tribune in what they're calling a business decision, which of course it's a business decision, but they're going to close their Minneapolis printing plant, which have you ever been in that plant, in the Heritage printing plant?
If I was, it was a long time ago, but I think I was. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's
Like
very
giant
cool.
paper printing press. And the location is also amazing. It's right in the North Loop. It's
Right.
huge, but the paper's saying they'll save millions of dollars by printing the paper in Des Moines, which of course, what's the drive from here to Des Moines? 5 hours. So
Probably about 5, maybe just under.
So do the math. Like now the deadline for the paper.
That's a big change.
It's a big change. It's a big change. It's a big change to a lot of employees. A guy just texted us and said, what does this 56-year-old guy do when he thought he was going to make it to retirement? Printing the paper. And you're like, oh, brutal. It's brutal. A lot of us in legacy media, you're like, let me get to retirement before the whole thing blows up in one way or the next. But it is a reality. Like, I love the layout of a newspaper. I still get the Sunday paper. But most of the stories that are in the Sunday paper, I've already read. They're already online.
You've already seen them. You've
Yeah.
already seen them the day before or the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I still know a pretty decent amount of people who get the paper, but I also recognize that even those people say, oh, well, sometimes I don't even get to it because I already am reading it online. I mean, I definitely feel like I have certainly switched to more and more online in the last few years. And it's not an intentional choice. It's just you're always on your computer or on your phone.
right.
So and everything is so instant now.
Do you find yourself so what I find, and maybe it's just like time marches on, but the bummer for me about the online approach is that I don't discover as much. I don't stumble upon a story that I read because it's right in front of me. You sort of read what you want in topic areas that you're interested in that sort of perhaps confirm your biases already. Even in an unbiased paper, like there's certain kind of, which people agree or disagree with that. But I think like a lot of us, when you're reading only online, you sort of serve yourself the kind of information that you want served yourself. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. And I think you also lose those heartfelt, meaningful story. I mean, the stories that at least I loved doing, that every journalist hopes they get to do when they work in news. And then you just get the, important headlines, the big headlines, but you miss a lot of the really, more, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but the stories that were, organic and that, that they came up with. And so, coming from the television background, as we both did, that was always such a huge part of it. And I feel like going to more digital, there's just less need for those types of stories because people are just looking to get the 5 things they need to know. So, it's really tough.
Yeah, it's interesting. And part of me thinks like I just have to get used to the fact that like this is how it's going to be. A lot of people read still the layout, the digital layout of.
Oh, yes.
So you can on your iPad or whatever, you can still get like the New York Times has a good. I don't have an iPad. I'm just a phone. I'm a phone or a laptop guy.
I don't either.
So I sort of feel like, all right, if this is where it's going to go, like maybe that's the solution for people like us. I don't know. Fall, you said you're excited about the fall. So rank these in order for me.
Okay.
Apple orchard, corn maze, pumpkin patch.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, pumpkin patch is great. So I'll just say that's the best.
That's
I feel
the
a little
best,
indifferent about, I don't hate any of them. So yeah, pumpkin patch, corn maze, apple orchard. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. I I think pumpkin patch is probably the most overrated fall activity.
I love a pumpkin. I love a pumpkin patch.
What do you love about a pumpkin patch? You like to
I
pay
come home
3
with
times as
maybe
much for the
15
pumpkin
pumpkins. Yes,
that you could get at
I
Cub?
love it. And the kids ride in a wagon. I love it. It's the best.
Maybe my parenting low point was when I took the kids and Alyssa to a pumpkin patch.
Okay.
We took some pictures and left and bought our pumpkins at Cub.
Well, it was for the experience. You had
Or was it just for the gram? Was it just a pathetic effort? Seeberger, it's pretty pathetic.
Did you wear the flannel? It was the whole thing.
Seeberger's, I think Seeberger's corn maze was rated. Well, I don't think we know how it came out, do we? It came out second best corn maze. Second best.
Okay.
According to USA Today. That's pretty good. I like
That's pretty
Seeberger's.
good.
I've been there. It's fun.
I just don't do a corn pit, and it's not them.
You don't
want to
You don't want to jump in the pit of kernels.
Kids love it, and you get dust. You're like dirty feet, and no. And I'm like, let's do this, kids, and they always want to go in the corn pit.
It's
but
true.
yeah,
It is true.
what are you gonna do?
Kate, thank you. Have a great week. Enjoy the warm
You as
weather
well.
this weekend. Kate Raddatz with us once a month for a visit here on CCO 431. When we come back, Metro Transit says, hey, maybe we should make people feel a little safer on the bus and the train. We'll talk about what they're doing and what would it take. If you used to ride the bus and don't, or used to ride the light rail and don't, I got to go to the airport on Wednesday. Should I take the light rail? We'll talk about it when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I was just at J.H. & Sons the other day doing a video piece about 5 things every guy needs in his fall wardrobe. It's Jason here for J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. That video will be coming soon to my Instagram feed. But a lot of people are coming back to the office, even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 days a week. And the reality is your wardrobe probably isn't ready. Get some help. Get some help from guys who've been getting men looking their best in the Twin Cities for decades. J.H. & Sons is a premier menswear store at the Galleria in Edina. You're going to love the store. It's beautiful. You walk in the front, they've got denim. They've got chinos. They've got sweaters. Fall is bursting in the J.H. & Sons showroom. But the best part of the store is the people. You're going to meet Kevin, or you're going to meet Chuck or Bryce, and they are going to take care of you. They're going to find out what events you have coming up, what's your lifestyle like, what kind of clothes do you like wearing, and how would you like to elevate your look? And then off they go. Maybe it's an unstructured suit coat. That was one of our 5 things, a soft suit coat. I love this trend where you can wear it to work or you can wear it out to dinner. They'll find versatile clothes that will last you for years. JHandsons.com is the website where you can sign up for the email list. I recommend that because you'll be the first to know about sales and special events in the store. But go to the Galleria, go to Edina, and visit J.H. & Sons.
Why is this backed up again? Because the road's been under construction since the Vikings' last Super Bowl?
Yeah, pretty sure Lewis and Clark detoured around this same construction.
Honestly, I've just accepted this is where I live now.
In the car?
In the left lane, between 2 orange barrels.
Traffic, weather, breaking news, politics, sports. We give you everything you need to complain like a true Minnesotan. Consider it your daily excuse to know more, so you can groan more. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
I'm Karen Heintz with Baird Private Wealth Management. At Baird, investing and financial planning are just part of the solution. Just as important is our personal commitment to your success. Meeting with you, answering your questions, working with your tax and legal advisors, so you can see your complete financial picture come together. Focused on you, no matter what. That's how Baird's been doing business for more than 100 years. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Lindsay Tevlin, DC of Aspire Integrated Health. Dr. Tevlin, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet, hands, and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
So is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
Call 651-504-3333 today to schedule a nerve damage screening.
This screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a good candidate for our innovative treatment program.
Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 651-504-3333. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 651-504-3333. Dr. Lindsay Tevlin, DC. Results may vary.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Some good news, 494 eastbound at Maxwell. The accident into the left lane just pulled away right now. Traffic remains jammed up, though. You still got the slowdowns as you come in from Highway 52. Northbound Lafayette Bridge Deck, you'll find the accident there is cleared. Left lane's been reopened. Things are still a bit tight as you come up from Concord. West 94 is still jammed up as you move between Franklin Avenue and Laurel Tunnel. And a bit further to the west, 169 northbound, get ready for slowdowns there. Benton Road up to 55. Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast time. Let's check in with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Scattered showers are possible overnight tonight as we fall back to 62. We'll keep those showers in the area with a high of 73 tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, we dry out up to 76. Dry Thursday into the weekend with highs climbing into the low 80s.
It's windy out there right now, but it's 78, so that's nice. What a change from this weekend here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA, video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you ever get a little bit tired of life, like you're not really happy, but you don't want to?
So I am going to Chicago later this week, and I'm going to take the light rail from downtown Minneapolis out to the airport. And I'm mostly not nervous about it. I guess it's nothing to be nervous about. The reality is a lot of people are nervous to ride the light rail, to ride the bus right now. And today news came out that Metro Transit is going to have more security guards, more uniformed people at the Snelling Avenue Green Line station, which has been a problem, and a few other stations. And this is good, right? I think we've gotten to the point that, man, we've come a long way from like just the sight of a police officer is triggering. Remember those days? I think some of that lingers, but haven't we learned sort of what happens when we sort of go down the road of like, oh, we don't want to make people feel threatened by the sight of a police officer? You know what's worse? The sight of people openly doing fentanyl on the train. Nobody wants, and this is not a Republican or Democrat thing. This is a human dignity thing. Nobody wants to ride public transit or have their family on the train when you've got open drug use. You've got people kind of in mental health crisis. It's beyond uncomfortable. And also, it is uncomfortable, right? So Metro Transit is adding more security to a bunch of different spots. Snelling Avenue Green Line, Brooklyn Center Transit Center, and the Uptown Transit Center. There'll be more people roaming train cars and stations, and especially in St. Paul in the Hamlin Midway neighborhood. It's been very challenging over there. I will say personally, like I've witnessed in downtown St. Paul, that main station, right near where the Pioneer Press is headquartered, I think it's 5th. There's just people everywhere. There's people everywhere. And I know like it's not illegal to be hanging around, but I don't know that I want to get on the train with all of that going on. It's not just people hanging around. It's people who look like they're high out of their minds. The question is this, though, because just adding, ticket, like this is good, right? This is good. My concern is that it's not enough. That just having more officers and more private security people is good. But the question is, like, what are we doing with folks when they are breaking the law? Where are you at on riding the bus or driving the train? 651-461-9226. Because we are still, what's difficult about this scenario, to me, the stuff that's going on the bus and the train is different from sort of the crisis that we've had with unprosecuted or underprosecuted gun crimes, juvenile crime where we don't have anywhere to put these kids. This issue, to me, feels more like most of what is happening, most of what makes people uncomfortable is not anything more than a misdemeanor or a gross misdemeanor. Doing drugs on the train is bad. It's uncomfortable. It makes me not want to ride the train. And like, we're not taking someone who's doing drugs on the train and locking them up for 3 years. Like, we have to be a little realistic about some of this stuff. With Metro Transit, it's challenging to know, and I guess it's sort of up to riders, right? It's challenging to know how much better things are getting, because as we've increased the number of security personnel and law enforcement personnel on the trains, you're going to have, the data is going to show more crime, right? So is there more crime, or are we just responding more quickly? Are we tracking things that we weren't tracking before? Sort of hard to know. The total number of crimes reported jumped to more than 2,000 a quarter in the first quarter and the second quarter of 2025. Metro Transit is saying, well, like that's because we're out there. That's because we're watching it, Violent crime has stayed pretty low on transit for years. So like the robbery, the assault, the homicides. But that's not the stuff. Like, that's not the stuff that I am particularly worried about. And so this does get to a matter of values, right? Do we care that transit users are uncomfortable? And they're not uncomfortable because they're racist or because they're whatever, because they hate the city. No, they're riding the bus. They want to ride the bus. They want to ride the train. I think we have to honor the experience of people who live in the city, who are transit users and want to be safer. The question is having more officers on there, is it enough? Jonathan, our friend from Minneapolis, is on CCO. I know you ride the train, Jonathan. Thanks for calling in.
Good afternoon, sir. How was your weekend? I heard you had a little fall.
A little spill, but otherwise it's pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So I ride Metro all the time, from the mall to wherever I need to go. I honestly can tell you within the last 6 months, it has been safer. I can tell you there are a few stops that I wish they would get rid of, like the one on 46.
Yep.
And also Lake Street. But since it's a major hub, they have cleaned it up immensely with all the people that they have already working for them. I can also tell you the best days to go on the light rail is during the morning. And if you have a earlier flight, you're perfectly fine. Sit in the front car and literally just mind your business. Because if you see something, there's a text number, and I can't remember it right now.
Right.
But you can text the Metro Police Department and say, I feel uncomfortable, 911, please come. And they do. So it's all about how you perceive what is actually happening around you when you're riding the Metro. Because if you perceive somebody to be a danger, Will Robinson, as I like to say, I get off of the car and go into the next car, because I do not want to have a confrontation, because sometimes my mouth will get me in trouble and say, will you please knock that blank off?
Yeah.
Because society as a whole, you have to remember, a lot of people that are the I call them hitchhikers on the light rail.
Sure.
They tend to just are there to get warm and or have someplace safe to go. They're not necessarily there to hurt you per se, but it's always best to be safe and make sure that you don't take your phone out, don't take your earbuds out, put your earbuds in before you get on, and have a safe ride.
Yeah.
And sure, with having more Metro Transit police on the platforms will deter the stupidity of human nature, if you really want to know the truth.
Yeah.
That's how I truly feel.
It's sort of sad that, like, you have to be so you should be able just to get on the train and not have to think about all this stuff. And I understand that, like, there's crime and there's drug use in our community. And so one of the things in this Star Tribune report today, some of the people who are using drugs on the train said one of the reasons that so many people use drugs on the train is that it is perceived as a safe place to use drugs because there are so many cameras in the trains in the event that you would overdose. Which
that's correct. And there have been multiple times that I've been on the light rail where I smell it. And my point of action is, if I see something that doesn't look like it's the norm of the morning commute or the afternoon commute, I wouldn't take it at night if my life depended upon it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd rather take an Uber back for $25.50 to downtown and be okay, because safety is the most of the important part of riding the light rail. Or even the buses. For instance, I haven't ridden the bus probably in 6 months because of the idiocy of people in this city, and I refuse to open my mouth in the wrong place and get slapped.
Yeah,
and have something happen.
For sure. Jonathan, thank you. Yeah.
Listen, I love you and hope you feel better, and I hope your wife enjoyed meeting me on Friday night. That was fun.
It was very good. Thanks, Jonathan. I'll tell you how we met, Jonathan, in just a minute. It was virtual. It wasn't in real life, but it was pretty cool. I'll tell you that story when we come back here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you.
Don't forget to stop at Thieler Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and brats.
Home smoked bacon.
All natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at ThielerMeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meals complete without Thieler Meats
of Pierce.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
If you're planning on selling your home soon, you need to be in the know on the changes to the real estate market and our economy so that you can sell it for the most money possible. Hi, it's Benita. With interest rate fluctuation, talks of a recession, you want to be fully informed. If you're thinking of selling your home, my good friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, along with Paul Douglas, will be hosting another free 45-minute online seminar. Learn the 5 mistakes most homeowners make when trying to sell, how to properly market a home in a balancing market, and 5 things you can do right now to make the most money. 4 webinar times, Tuesday, October 7th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m., Thursday, the 9th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up today by going to thejohnschustergroup.com. Click the banner at the top of the page marked Home Seller Forward.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Hey, Minnesota fans! Join Benita Sakar from the Morning News, Wednesday, September 10th. Prairie, located at 8045 Flying Cloud Drive, Suite 100. Come talk football, show your Minnesota pride, and have a chance to win great prizes. This Wednesday, from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow south 169, Anderson Lakes Parkway to 101, southbound 35W jammed up 106th Street down to Highway 13. Going to find things running slowly. 10 westbound is moved between basically University heading up to the work zone at Hanson, and 610 westbound slows from University as well heading out to Noble Parkway. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast is brought to you by Moderna. Tonight, scattered showers possible, low of 62. Tomorrow, more scattered showers, high of 73. Wednesday, it's 76, and then dry in the weekend. It'll be in the 80s by Friday. Right now, it's 79 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way? Analysis and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler. TheDailyAgenda.com.
I mean, the story's not that exciting. The tease sounded like I was going to have some very dramatic story about how I met Jonathan. But the truth was, he was doing a live broadcast on his TikTok. And he happened to send me a DM that I saw while I was sitting at my kitchen table. So I popped in and I got to be a guest on the Jonathan show, which was...
That's turning the tables.
It was a pretty cool little scenario. So he got to ask me some questions, and so TikTok is happening too, and so kind of fun. So if any of you are hosting TikTok shows,
You've commented when I've been live streaming.
I'm available to be a guest. Well, you invited me to.
I know. It's not going to happen.
No. Minneapolis. And been on there all the time, and I have a lot of and in October because we're enthused Steve Grover's book about going up to the West, going off to Silicon Valley, working at Huddle, and then going back. So I will be hosting a conference with him at Minneapolis. Always lots of stuff going on at the and a lot of including the restaurant, Charlotte, open to the public. You can come and join me and Steve Pro. Friday afternoon, just Google Minneapolis Club, Steve Pro. You'll see the bed. Right around you can grab a ticket and check it out. MTV Video Music Awards last night on CBS because it's owned by CBS and Paramount, all the same. It got me thinking about missing MTV. And you pulled a little bit. What did you do? I would. Here's the green carpet. Her songs are. So I'm not a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan, but I saw Gayle King interview her. I'm like, you know what? I think I like Sabrina. Like, she knows what she's doing. All these songs to me are very stupid, a little overly sexual for my taste. But music videos are among the biggest things streaming on the internet, and it's sort of surprising that we don't have a place where we
I was going to say, if only there was a channel where you could go watch
But
music
just
videos.
the VMAs yesterday were making me think, like, I wonder, like, could MTV come back? Like, I would, I would sit down and watch music videos. The reason MTV went away is that it just became reality TV. You wouldn't watch some videos?
I would, but MTV's not going to do that because everybody's used to watching 30-second clips.
All the
And on
songs are-
demand.
Yeah, the songs are way shorter too because. Well, I don't know. I kind of miss MTV. Those were the days. This is the first time I think I fell in love with a celebrity watching Debbie Gibson.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from the ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, redesign and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan. But if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
We are Minnesota. We are WCCO 1029 HDQ, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Tammy McCormick. The Supreme Court is clearing the way for federal agents to conduct sweeping immigration operations in Los Angeles. They can stop people solely based on their race, language, job, or location. Armando Gadino with the Los Angeles Worker Center Network.
We will fight the systemic discrimination this conservative majority has unleashed. Alongside our members at the Worker Center Network, we form a network of support and resistance, ensuring workers know their rights and have the power to defend themselves.
Legal analyst Laurie Levinson.
This is a major issue that's likely to come up in other cities, maybe Chicago in the near future or Baltimore. So it's not a good sign for those who are seeking to stop the administration from bringing in ICE and maybe even the National Guard to do these full types of raids.
An immigration attorney says many of the South Korean workers detained in a raid on a Georgia Hyundai plant were brought in for highly specialized work that Americans aren't trained for. Another legal victory for the administration today. An appeals court ruled states cannot sue over fired federal workers. Matt Piper has that.
In a 2-1 ruling, the appeals court says states do not have the standing to sue the Trump administration's mass termination of probation employees. It says they only have standing to challenge the process by which the government has engaged in mass firings. In March, 19 states and Washington, D.C. sued federal agencies, alleging the terminations were unlawful and never gave 30 to 60 days advance notice. The court also notes the harm was done to people, not states, none of whom are parties in the suit.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth paid a surprise visit to Puerto Rico today after more fighter jets were ordered deployed there for operations targeting drug cartels. Venezuela's president ordered troops to coastal areas to do the same. CBS's Charlie Daggett at the Pentagon.
25,000 troops to border regions, which is a bit nefarious in itself, to show a willingness to curtail drug trafficking or a show of force.
President Trump today hailed a decision by West Point to cancel a ceremony honoring Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan star Tom Hanks. The Academy's Alumni Association was to honor him later this month, but the event was abruptly called off. Retired Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery.
Clearly, he has been a great contributor to the United States military. He was an obviously qualified recipient for this award from the Alumni Association, and it's disappointing that they pulled the rug out from underneath this event.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher, the Dow up 114 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 77 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. The Minnesota Court of Appeals upholds the conviction of a man who was at one point released from prison, but then sent back when guns were found in his car.
Mayan Burrell's defense team claimed the search of Burrell's car was illegal during a 2023 traffic stop that led to his conviction in the case where Robbinsdale police found a handgun and drugs inside of his car. Burrell had previously spent 18 years in prison as part of a life sentence for the 2002 death of 11-year-old Taisha Edwards, who was hit by a stray bullet in Minneapolis. The State Pardons Board commuted his sentence to time served after an investigation revealed new evidence and serious flaws in that original investigation. Burrell was sentenced to 5 years in prison on the latest case. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
After an hours-long closed-door session and another few hours of debate, the Minneapolis City Council votes to sue a landlord who has allowed a homeless encampment on his south side property. The city has already issued multiple fines and citations for health violations against Hamoudi Sabri, but hasn't been able to clear the encampment because it's on his private property. Councilmember Latricia Vitaw says it's their duty to act.
When we're told that something is a public health crisis, that we should address it. And that is exactly what this is. As I've said to my colleagues, I've been there several times, and the public health crisis is visible. You can smell it.
The encampment is near Lake Street and 28th Avenue South. Council members who opposed taking legal action say there aren't enough shelter beds available to house those who will be displaced. In response to recent federal actions, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz issues an executive order to safeguard vaccine access across Minnesota. The order directs state agencies to remove barriers to vaccine access to the fullest extent permitted by law and available funding so that vaccines remain broadly and readily accessible to Minnesotans. Governor Walz faces yet more pressure to call a special session in the wake of last month's mass shooting at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis. Dr. Laurel Reese with the Minnesota Medical Association says giving local municipalities the ability to enact stricter firearm regulations than the state could be a good start.
If we can protect children in one municipality when others aren't interested in doing that, we want to protect the children we can. One of the things that you'll hear a lot in this conversation is people say we're never going to fix all of these deaths. But I would argue that if we keep one child alive, it's worth it.
And the Minnesota Twins and some partners are teaming up to renovate a local ball field in Minneapolis.
The Minnesota Twins and the Toro Company are celebrating their 15th anniversary of partnership by refurbishing the Bob Casey Field at Stewart Park in Minneapolis. The joint effort will convert the outdated baseball-only diamond into a field suitable for both baseball and youth fast-pitch softball. Twins Community Engagement Director Kristen Roordvet explains.
The Twins actually helped renovate this field 20 years ago, and it was an opportunity for us to come back and give it some love again. This community has needed a refresh of this park.
She says the renovations, led by the Twins grounds crew, will be finished quickly and will provide safe, high-quality fields for the next generation of young athletes. In Minneapolis, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Got a crash working Maple Grove, 94 westbound at 494 off to the right side. Get ready for your slowdowns past Hemlock Lane. 610 westbound jammed up University, heading out to Noble Parkway. 10 westbound remains slow from Egret, heading up to Hanson Boulevard. You're going to find some slowing South 35W out of Minneapolis, heading down toward Diamond Lake Road, where you may have a crash working there now. Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ Pro is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word W for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And with that, here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
After 5 consecutive days with highs in the 60s, we hit the 70s today. Scattered showers are going to be possible tonight as well as tomorrow. That'll keep us a little cooler with a high of 73. Partly cloudy, mid-70s Wednesday. We have a shot at hitting 80 by Thursday. Highs will be in the 80s heading into the weekend.
Mostly cloudy right now, 77 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
What's happening now? What's coming next? Stay here for the very latest. What you need to know, it's News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Poor Laura Oakes. New dog, new puppy at home. Shirley's keeping Laura up at night. I get it. Like, we all have different things. You hit a certain age, you struggle to sleep through the night. You're young and you have babies at home. You're not sleeping through the night. That's why I'm not getting a dog. I will 10 out of 10 pet your dog if I'm allowed. I love your dog. This weekend I was petting a cat. Look at me turning over. I know a lot of people think I'm an animal hater. I am a lover. And I'm an animal lover. And I just don't want one. I don't want it in my house. Can you be an animal lover if you just love other people? I think so. It's like you can love children and not want one. Like I love seeing other people's babies. And I do not. We're not going Tony Randall on the bed. Like that is of no interest to me. It is 5:09. Let's do what we do every day in between 5 and 5:30. We call it the DeRUSH Hour news headline.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
Texter says, my favorite dog is the one that someone else owns. Exactly. We get each other.
It's like the cabin.
I suppose it's all sort of it. What we're saying is we don't want any personal responsibility. That personal responsibility is a bit of the theme of our first headline in the lead. And that is, well, it's something I'm very curious about. Are we seeing the beginning of a move where more DFLers are going to stand up and say, we need harsher punishments when it comes to crime? There is a bill by Republican State Senator Julia Coleman where she is calling for increased penalties for fleeing police. She and her family were caught in the middle of a high-speed chase. There is no specific penalty in the state of Minnesota for endangering the public while fleeing the police. You can be cited, I believe, for fleeing police. She's trying to change the law. And perhaps surprisingly, one of the state senators who have stood up and said, yeah, enough is enough. We need tougher penalties, is DFL state senator from Afton, Judy Seeberger, and she joins us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. State Senator Seeberger, what changed? What made you say enough is enough?
I think this summer we've seen just a tremendous amount of gun violence in our community, starting, of course, with the assassinations in June, an assassination attempt of the Hoffmans, and leading up to the Annunciation school shootings and the violence that occurred prior to that. I've been saying enough is enough for quite some time, but this really feels like a time when we should all stand up and say, what can we do differently? What we're doing now isn't working. What can we do differently?
State Senator Judy Seeberger is with us, DFLer from Afton. When you posted this over the weekend that you would support harsher penalties and mandatory minimums for violent offenders, you got some pushback immediately from people saying like, oh, it must be an election coming. It's too late to jump on, the common sense bus, which I don't know. I hate that attitude, that idea that like people can't come around or the world can't change in a way that makes people say like, all right, maybe we went too far. But how do you respond to that? Do you feel like maybe DFL policies did go too far?
I think I've been saying for quite some time, and I've carried bills since I was elected to the Senate to increase penalties for certain offenses. In fact, last session, I got a bill across the finish line that I'd carried a couple of times, increasing penalties for assaults on EMS workers and firefighters. I have always been of the position that we need to be tough on crime, that we need to hold criminals accountable. And I think that it is time to now start talking about mandatory minimums and how do we keep some of these dangerous offenders off the streets. That's always been my position. And, my record is clear. If you listen to any of the conversations and debates that we had in Judiciary Committee over the years, you'll hear that quite clearly, that has always been my position.
When you look at your colleagues, though, I think, the trend among DFLers has been to talk more about rehabilitation, talk more about, trying to lift people out of poverty so they don't commit crimes. And I don't know, I'm in a same spot that you are, that I will say, like, more bluntly, the fact that 5 years after COVID, we haven't seen really any reasonable reduction of this sort of violent crime back to where it was before COVID. I think it's time for different approaches.
That's how I feel. What we're doing isn't working. And I keep going back to that. But I also want to say I think there's room for multiple different approaches here. Certainly rehabilitation has its place. Certainly I want to see people lifted out of poverty, and I don't want to punish folks disproportionately through the criminal justice system just based upon their socioeconomic status, race, culture, ethnicity, anything like that. All of that I wholeheartedly believe in. And at the same time, I think we need to take a look at how are all these repeat violent offenders ending up back on our streets? What are we doing wrong that we're not addressing this particular problem?
When you look at the ramifications of saying, like, all right, we're going to have mandatory minimums, we're going to have tougher penalties, especially on gun crimes. I think that's what Minnesotans are calling for. But you also wonder, all right, are we going to need more prison space? Are we going to have, there are downstream effects of saying, all right, we're going to be tougher and lock people up longer.
There certainly are costs to anything that we do, and we have to invest in safety in Minnesota, whatever that looks like. If it means increasing recruitment and retention to law enforcement officers, if it means adding beds in our prison system, whatever it might be. And these are conversations that I think we need to have so that we can craft a robust bill and policy that addresses the problem.
Do you think fellow Democrats are with you on this, or is this going to be a tougher hill for them to climb with their base and their supporters? You're in a very split district. You won election by only a couple hundred votes.
Right. I have, I like to say I have kind of an equal number of everybody in my district, Democrat, right, Republican, independent, apolitical folks. And I represent all of them, whether they voted for me or not. And there are other Democrats in the Senate that I work with that are in similar districts and feel similarly to the way I do. And certainly I have colleagues that very much differ on the issue. So they're difficult conversations, but I think they're worthwhile. And again, I just go back to whatever we're doing now is not working. We've got to try something else.
Judy Seeberger with us this afternoon. I appreciate the time. Thanks, Senator.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We'll see if more Democrats go down that road as well. I don't think it'll be very controversial to increase penalties for people who are putting Minnesotans in danger, fleeing police. But you never know. You never know. Next up, the governor today issued an executive order to safeguard vaccine access across Minnesota. The governor saying that Minnesota will continue to be guided by science and the freedom to seek out medical expertise. Chad Hartman had Dr. Michael Osterholm for the University of Minnesota, a vaccine and infectious disease researcher, on his show on this issue. And the changes at the federal level, people can get in their feelings about whether it is restricting access. But don't kid yourself. Requiring people to get a doctor's appointment, get a prescription for a vaccine is restricting access. Get over it. It is. And Chad talked with Mike Osterholm on why he feels access is so important.
Yeah. And that's the thing that scares me because, the fact of the matter is that as we're doing this work in public health, we do need to work closely with the community. In the book, I talk about the failures in communication, the challenges that we had during the pandemic, that we could have done a much better job in relating to the public. So it's not like I'm sitting here declaring we know what's right, you don't. We have work to do. But the bottom line is it's based on the science. It's based on the real facts. I mean, for example, 155 kids have died this past year from COVID. And all we're asking for is allow parents, if they want to get their kids vaccinated, they can. As you said, it's not a mandate. We know that pregnant women are at much higher risk of having a very serious outcome with COVID if they're pregnant. And in fact, he has taken vaccine away from them. And there is no scientific data to support this. In fact, our center is leading a national effort right now called the Vaccine Integrity Project to actually evaluate very, very rigorously the data that exists for these vaccines, like COVID, influenza, and RSV. And we find the tremendous benefit from these vaccines in reducing serious illness. Now, let me be clear. These vaccines are good, but they're not great. They won't necessarily stop you from becoming infected and maybe even infectious, but they are amazing at reducing serious illness, hospitalizations, and deaths. Why would we deny somebody that vaccine if they want to take it? Again, no mandates. That's the kind of thing that's dangerous. That's ideologically a decision, not scientifically a decision.
We've seen Florida with a plan to drop school vaccine mandates. We've seen the federal government change who is allowed to get the COVID vaccine without a doctor's prescription. In Minnesota, state epidemiologists are being directed to issue a standing order, which will give more flexibility for healthcare providers and pharmacists to provide that vaccine. That is page one, the lead. Page two is coming up as we continue with the DeRUSH Hour news headlines. We'll talk about leaving your Rolex on a boat, e-bike rebates, how many people looking for a deal, and why your zodiac sign may be wrong. DriveTime coming back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio.
How about pork chop? How about a big old pork chop? Who's ready? It's Jason here for my friends at Minnesota Pork. Family farmers every corner of this state. I love my friends, the Minnesota pig community. They've been such great supporters of Drive Time since day one. And when you think of the beginning of Minnesota Pork, maybe think about bacon. Bacon's great. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against bacon. But there's so much to Minnesota Pork. And this time of year, man, I get it. Parents, you are busy. You're driving around. You got kids going to football practice or soccer or play practice or piano lessons or whatever. How about doing something simple instead of running to fast food? Maybe make a ham sandwich, or you do like a roll up with a little bit of ham, some lettuce, some cheese, just something easy, cooler in the car. Refuel your kids, refuel yourself, save some money, and support our Minnesota family farmers. Flavor is what gets me going. When I think about mnpork.com, the website, which has so many recipe ideas, whether it's pork tenderloin, which you could usually go to your grocery store or your butcher shop, find a pre-marinated pork tenderloin, throw that in the oven for 15 minutes, and dinner's ready. Let's go. Let's have Minnesota Pork for dinner tonight.
Premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, $15 a month. 3, no big charge. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing the app? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Mobile.com/radio. That's not paying $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month. This will offer 15 points. Full price plan options available. Mobile.com. Here's the tale of the daily Medfield, same old bill. Prices get louder.
The savings range load in. Who is going to be that are at
no plan? That's none. 50% off.
This getting harder than Paul's chili. And one label has all the rest. All right.
It's been enough for AARP Minnesota. For 90 years, Social Security has delivered every check every month, keeping its promise to hard-working Americans. As we celebrate Social Security turning 90, AARP promises to keep it strong for older Americans today and our kids and grandkids tomorrow. Sign the AARP pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/we-earn-it.
Online consultation with a healthcare provider.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access 80 treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form, and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA
I would rather have a root canal with no Novocaine.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Oh, we have to talk about the $228,000 Rolex. DeRUSH Hour news headlines, page 2. I love watches, and this is a beautiful watch that a local man had stolen right off of his boat. Minnesota Star Tribune. Dateline Lake Minnetonka. The time, 10 p.m. Bunch of Minnesota guys partying on a boat. Why not? 30-some people on the boat. On walks a 20-year-old guy who's like shaking hands, glad-handing with the group. How you doing? Hey, buddy, good to see you. He steals a duffel bag, a Louis Vuitton duffel bag, that had the, well, allegedly, $228,000 Rolex in it. The Rolex, if you're watching on our video stream, is a beaut. It is a Rolex Cosmograph Daytona Platinum Ice Blue Index Dial watch. Criminal complaint says it's valued at $228,000. Brand new retail will be about $80,000, but you can't find it. You can't buy it brand new. So probably is worth $200, $250 in there. Also in this duffel bag, which, by the way, like some people bring a lot of stuff with them on their boat. Like when I go on the boat, you know what I have in my $40 duffel bag? Usually I'm wearing my swimsuit. So I probably have a pair of pants and my wallet. And in my wallet, currently I have $40. $40 cash money. I carry some 5s, some 10s. You never know if you need to grease the wheels with a big 5 spot. Huh? This guy had $25,000 worth of limited edition clothing, $5,000 to $10,000 in cash, $400 worth of cologne. Now, in his defense, $400 of cologne sounds like a lot. That's a lot. That's probably just like 1 or 2 things of cologne. You got to be ready for anything. The bag itself, a Louis Vuitton Keep All 55, was valued at $2,400, which you could get snotty about it, but like that's fine, right? That's just like a little trip on the boat. So here's what's crazy about the story. The Minnesota Star Tribune has a couple of updates of the story from when it was first posted this morning, because they talked with the victim, and the victim shared a text thread because victim finds out, like, who was that guy? Because my bag is missing, and somebody gives his number. It's like, oh, I know who that is. That's William Fratelloni, 20-year-old guy from Deep Haven, used to play football for NDSU. Tax says, bro, we have you on video taking the bag. No hard feelings. Blank happens when partying. I don't give about the bag. I care about what's in it. We can do this one of 2 ways. You can bring the bag back with everything that was in it with no hard feelings, or I can continue with the police report and send them your info. Easy way or hard way, your choice. Which, by the way, what a life lifelong dream. Don't you wish, Dan, you could send somebody that kind of a text message? All right, listen, see? We can do it the easy way or the hard way. You see? I love it. I love everything about it. And so the guy texts back, hey, man, I did not take anyone's bag other than my own. Here's my lawyer's number. So according to the criminal complaint, the cops go to this guy's house and did not find this exact watch, but they found 4 other Rolexes in his bedroom on August 1st, along with ID cards belonging to 2 other men. He is the subject of a second theft investigation on Lake Minnetonka at about the same time. They searched his cell phone, found video from July 4th of the area where several bags were stored. Keep an eye on your stuff, man. And don't let any rando 20-year-olds on your boat. It is not unusual to leave your stuff on the boat and then go into Maynard's or whatever. But, I mean, it's probably not too smart to leave your $250,000 watch on there. E-bike rebate round 2. How many Minnesotans want a deal on an e-bike? That's cute. That's cute. Axios Twin Cities reporting that about 14,000 people applied for our scaled back e-bike rebate program, year 2 of this. So about the same number as applied in 2024. Rebates went out to about 2,700 people selected by random lottery. They changed the deal. Remember, originally it was just whoever applies, and it was $1,500. Now it's cut to $750, and there's an income cap. So rich people can't go save $1,500, which seems reasonable. Your zodiac sign may be wrong.
Okay, I know you already know about all the zodiac signs like the Sagittarius, Sagittarius, and Aries.
Yeah. New York Times with a really cool interactive feature that laid out 3 reasons why your zodiac sign, which is based on 2,000-year-old kind of viewing of constellations at a certain time of the year. That's how they did it. There are 12 zodiac signs. First of all, there are 13 constellations. Sort of weird. They're like, why'd they get rid of Ophiuchus? Cook, you're the space guy. You don't know how to say that?
Yeah, no, I know astronomy, not astrology.
Yeah,
So have fun with that.
it's constellations. That's astronomy. Ophiuchus. Named after Jamie Eucas. So that one is basically what happens is the Earth wobbles. So things aren't lined up the way that they used to be. Constellations differ in sizes as well. The zodiac signs are about 2,500 years old. So I looked up on the New York Times my birthday, and I am Aquarius. And according to the New York Times, I'm not. I am Capricorn. So like if you're a September 8th birthday, you think you're a Virgo, but this year, if you were to look behind the sun on September 8th, it would be Leo. Did you plug in your birthday into this thing, Dan?
Nope.
All right. You don't believe in any of this, so you're not entertaining.
0.
I like astronomy. I don't believe in it.
I like astronomy too. This is astrology.
I like astrology. It's entertaining. I don't believe in it, really, but I like it. We'll break. When we come back, Dave Schwartz. It's Vikings, Bears. The Gophers destroyed their opponent. All of that and more when we talk with Dave in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Karen Heinz with Baird Private Wealth Management. For many of us, life is busy. Balancing family, career, friends, and community, plus finding the time and focus to keep your family's financial plan on track can be a challenge. At Baird, we understand. Our advisors partner with you to create a financial plan that's uniquely yours, one that gives you peace of mind and confidence so you can focus on what matters most. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
In business, timing is everything. When it's time to buy, sell, or merge, you need a legal team that moves fast, thinks smart, and protects every dollar. At Helmuth & Johnson, we have over 30 years of experience in mergers and acquisitions that get results. No red tape, no surprises, just smart strategy and airtight execution. Big deals need bold lawyers. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com.
If you're planning on selling your home soon, you need to be in the know on the changes to the real estate market and our economy so that you can sell it for the most money possible. Hi, it's Vanita. With interest rate fluctuation, talks of a recession, you want to be fully informed. If you're thinking of selling your home, my good friend, the good neighbor agent, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, along with Paul Douglas, will be hosting another free 45-minute online seminar. Learn the 5 mistakes most homeowners make when trying to sell, how to properly market a home in a balancing market, and 5 things you can do right now to make the most money. 4 webinar times, Tuesday, October 7th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m., Thursday, the 9th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up today by going to thejohnschustergroup.com. Click the banner at the top of the page marked Home Seller Forum.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
I've been turning wrenches for nearly 20 years. And for the longest time, it was chaos. Communication was spotty, PMs got missed, downtime skyrocketed, and accountability practically impossible. Then we switched to Maintain X. Total game changer. Now the whole operation runs through the Maintain X app. Work orders, safety procedures, parts inventory. I manage it all in one place with real-time updates. No more delays, no more surprises.
Maintain X helps maintenance teams run smarter, faster, and more efficiently. Thousands of frontline teams trust Maintain X to maximize uptime, cut costs, and stay audit ready. Start your free trial at maintainx.com. That's maintain and the letter X.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Shop in store online. West 94 at 494 Maple Grove. Still got the wreck working off to the right side and some slowing in the area. Slowdowns continue for Highway 10 westbound, making the push between Foley Boulevard and Hanson. If you're going to be traveling 694 westbound, got your slowdowns there. Silver Lake Road to 252. Stock up on home essentials at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off 7th generation select cleaning supplies with Prime through September 9th. Freshen up your space for a clearer mind. While supplies last, shop in store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mNEXSpike.com. That's mNEXSPIKE.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Weather brought to you by Moderna. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Scattered showers are possible overnight tonight as we fall back to 62. We'll keep those showers in the area with a high of 73 tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, we dry out up to 76. Dry Thursday into the weekend with highs climbing into the low 80s.
Right now, it is 77. 77 in downtown Minneapolis on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA
Pathetic, but entertaining.
That's a pathetic but entertaining.
on News Talk 830 WCCO. Now let's get a Monday rundown on the weekend in sports, where Dave brings the analysis and Jason brings the snacks.
Get your popcorn ready.
Time for some fun talking ball and other stuff with Dave Schwartz on Drive Time with DeRUSHA.
Dave, earlier in the show, I was doing burpees with former Minnesota Viking great Robert Smith. How about that?
Really?
He did in which, by the way, and you can check this out on podcast. The best way to see it is on our YouTube stream because we were doing the burpees during the break. So it was a special video only. He is ripped, by the way. Like
He's still, I remember seeing him a few years ago thinking he looks like he could step in right now and dominate, or at least be a pretty darn good running back in the National Football League.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted to challenge me to a burpee competition. And I'm looking at the man, I'm like, do you even see what I look like? Like, what are we?
That's not really a challenge. I mean, like, no offense, I wouldn't be any better, but he's not exactly taking a leap trying to out burpee you.
No,
I mean, look at him.
Yeah, just his arm is like the size of my upper thigh, like unbelievable. And then, so he did 11 in 30 seconds, and I did 8, which was not bad.
Pretty good,
not bad.
And you're wearing slacks and a button-down shirt.
True. Yeah, I have all kinds of excuses built in. Don't you worry about it.
At least you tried.
I
right?
did try. I did okay. I did okay for a radio guy. What do you want? So the question is,
I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to talk after for a little while.
And then I did weather. No problem. Well, minor problem. Minor problem.
It's dry.
Yes. So we know that's not going to happen in the Vikings game tonight. The J.J. McCarthy era officially starts. So, let's go. Who's going to win this game?
Oh, I just think that the Vikings have more going for them, and I'm not necessarily saying that just because it's the hometown, but maybe it's because we don't know what J.J. McCarthy is yet.
We have no idea.
Is bliss, right?
Yeah.
He could be amazing. It could be awful. I mean, we don't know. The Bears know that Caleb Williams is coming off an incredibly frustrating year. The difference is, to me, there's many of them, not the least of which is that J.J. McCarthy has the best wide receiver in football to throw to in Justin Jefferson, one of the best tight ends in football in T.J. Hawkinson, and one of the best defenses to try to rely on and make sure that they take care of business. So I think the one way I had heard it, and maybe I read it somewhere, but that J.J. McCarthy does not have to win this game alone. And I think that's what's most important. He's just got to play well enough. And then eventually, down the line, he'll, when they need him to win some games, he can do it. But he doesn't have to do anything exceptional. This is a game that I think the Vikings should win. This is a very winnable game. Chicago's not the toughest team to start your season off with.
I find it sort of hard to believe that Caleb Williams, who had that frustrating season, yes, he has a new coach. Yes, the new coach is sort of the offensive wizard from the Detroit Lions that helped that team go so well. Ben Johnson, the new coach. But, does one offseason take you and make you great? I don't know. Maybe you have different schemes. You have a different game plan. I don't know. And having 1 year under your belt, certainly that matters compared to JJ, who has 1 year of sort of studying and observing, but no actual NFL action.
I've always had a theory about the quarterback position and in football in general. I mean, the bottom line is every one of these guys can play. They wouldn't make it to where they are if they couldn't play. And even, I'll even throw a name like Christian Ponder out there. Everyone knows, he's in Vikings lore. But at one point, Christian Ponder could play. But what happened is he lost his confidence. He was running for his life. And ultimately, A quarterback's success, to me, always comes down to how comfortable do they feel in the pocket? Are they strong enough to stay in there to make the throws where they need to? Or are they getting happy feet and running for their life? Caleb Williams, in many ways last year, was running for his life. And so can J.J. McCarthy feel confident enough in the pocket to make the throws that he needs to, or just hand the ball off and have the offensive line do their job? And then that confidence builds on it, right? Sam Darnold is a great example of this. He's never felt more confident than he did last year, and he had a great year. It wasn't that every other year he didn't know how to play, and all of a sudden he learned how. He just felt comfortable in the pocket and in that offense. And for me, at the quarterback position, that makes more of a difference than anything.
Dave Schwartz is with us. You know, part of the other difference, Dave, is that because the actual players don't play at all in the preseason, this first week can often be just like really sloppy, and you don't quite know what to expect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the argument of playing your starters in the preseason, especially the rookies, right?
Happen.
You don't want – no, it's not, because there's just too much wrapped up in it with money. But ultimately, J.J. McCarthy is going to have to throw his more than – whatever 5 passes that he threw in the preceding game tonight. And so, you know, how's he going to deal with that? But at this point, I mean, you've got to think that he's mentally strong enough to be able to be ready to make this start after sitting for a year now and going through all this. This is a kid that I don't think that his mental wherewithal and his toughness has ever been in question. It's just, can he make this jump from being a great quarterback at Michigan in that system offense? Can he translate that to the NFL? It's the physical attributes. The mental attributes have never been in question for him.
The Gophers ran out of fireworks on Saturday. I love this.
Love that.
If you're watching on the stream, the Gophers put up a graphic at Huntington Bank Stadium. We ran out of fireworks. Oh, sorry. Pretty good.
That's great. That's so good.
I mean, you know, how many fireworks do you think like we should have in the scoreboard? I mean, is this a fail by Gopher game day? You know, you deal with some of this for the Minnesota Wild over at Grand Casino Arena, but could you imagine running out of pyro? I mean, you're not launching fireworks after every goal, but you know.
No.
What if the horn didn't have enough gas in it?
That's interesting.
That I don't know. I don't know how you feel that.
I feel like it's probably better to have some left over, right? Because then you can use them the next game. I mean, was this their season allotment of fireworks? And if so, who made the order?
Yeah.
Who put in the order? Whoops, sorry, we're going to get us through like 4 games. But boy, that game was just, I mean, from a Northwestern State side of it, just hideous. But I will say this:
66 to nothing was the score.
Yeah,
and they called it because of weather, right?
Yeah, I love that line. By the way, both coaches mutually agreed to end the game.
I bet they did.
Probably wasn't a tough sell for Northwestern there. Hey, you want to be done? Yeah, we got a plane to catch. You don't want to put too much on this, but I also would tell people that to say, well, it's just Northwestern State, or well, it's just Buffalo. Wasn't too long ago that like South Dakota State was giving the Gophers a run for their money, and some of these other 1AA programs. So, well, it's not anything to hang your hat on and say, well, we're going to go, we're the best team in the country, and I know that was said, but it's also not like, oh well, ho hum, we just beat these 2 bottom dwellers.
Right?
They're still decent football teams, and it wasn't that long ago. Gopher fans will remember that those teams were pushing them, and now they're doing what they need to do, which is beating the teams handily that they should be beating.
It's good. Yeah, you can't like hand wring about it. Like, be glad they did what they need to do. Yeah, very good.
A win is a win, and anytime you get that victory, it matters, because every year we see, Appalachian State beat Michigan, or so.
Exactly.
It always happens.
It can happen for
and
sure.
You don't want to be that program.
All right, let's break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Byron Buxton, a new milestone for him, as we come back on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you need some work done on your landscaping? It's Jason. And I know so many of us think about the spring when it comes to sprucing up our yards. But my friends at ProTurf, and these are great people. They take care of my yard. They take care of my irrigation system. We are going to do some new plantings on the side of my house. I had an out-of-control mint garden. Although, let me tell you, I understand people all around Minnesota are doing a different kind of gardening that is available and now legal. Does ProTurf do that? I don't know. None of my business. They tell me they do projects big or small. I think what they're talking about is if you've got some overgrown foliage, you got some trees that maybe have seen better days, they'll yank them out there. They'll put in new trees. The fall is a great time to plant new trees, shrubs, and perennials. They'll also do hardscape stuff, and they'll do that into late November. You got to have a hard freeze to make the ProTurf team stop working. So if you need a new patio, a new driveway, a new pergola, fire pit, whatever, reach out and get a free estimate at professionalturf.com. Minnesota family-owned company, been around since the early 80s. They take care of my yard. I trust them 1,000%. Reach out today to professionalturf.com.
Hey, Minnesota fans! Join Vanita Sakar from the Morning News Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie, located at 8045 Flying Cloud Drive, Suite 100. Come talk football, show your Minnesota pride, and have a chance to win great prizes. Get in on the fun this Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So, better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies help me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINNELEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Hey there, cats and kittens. It's Brian from The Commercial Break, the mediocre comedy podcast where my best friend Chrissy and I attempt to make sense of the world. We talk about the absurd, the ridiculous, and the stuff no one asked for, like internet weirdos, pickup artists, and why everyone is obsessed with crystals and colonics. It's all got to stop. The show is free, it's frequent, and it's probably not for everyone. You can go to tcbpodcast.com, subscribe at youtube.com/The Commercial Break, or check out the show wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you on the next Commercial Break. And best to you.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Let's look at the slowdowns happening up on Highway 10 westbound and make way past Egret, heading into the work zone at Hanson Boulevard. Across down eastbound, seeing some slowing, 35W to Cedar over on the East Metro, East 94 flowing nicely right out of St. Paul into Wisconsin. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO line company I use, B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034, or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
B&M Tree Service bringing us the forecast tonight. Scattered showers possible. 62 is the low tomorrow, up to 73. Wednesday, 76. It's going to be in the 80s by Friday. Right now, it is pretty average, 77 and cloudy on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way, analysis, and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler? TheDailyAgenda.com.
Let's take the current temp of your Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Save 15% with code word WCCO at checkout now at chefiq.com.
Twins at LA tonight. Steve Thompson will get you up to pregame, which is at 8 o'clock tonight. Byron Buxton had his 30th home run as the Twins did beat Kansas City 5-1 yesterday. They dropped 2-1-1. Finally a win, snapping that, what has it been, 6-game losing streak?
Yeah, it was a lot.
It's kind of a bummer for Byron. I wonder as a player, like how frustrating it is to know that, he's one of 2 Minnesota Twins to have 30 home runs, 20 plus stolen bases. It's Buck and Puck. And to have it on sort of a waste of a season,
Well, my guess is he has some incentives in his contract. So if he hits that, he probably, maybe he gets a little bit of extra money. But, first of all, I think it's great because it shows his health. He's healthy for this year, which when all was lost, at least he's been on the field. What also interests me is that he's probably not getting the greatest pitches to hit, but he still is hitting them because, you really have to get him out.
Yeah.
Other than him in the line, there's not a whole lot in that Twins lineup at this point that's really scary. So he's seeing he's seeing some of the better pitches and he's still hitting them out. So if there's something to be, I'll code a silver lining there and say that he's doing it in a way that probably is more difficult if he was surrounded by great hitters.
Yeah, fair. I'm glad that we got to experience like what Buxton is like fully healthy. It's been a while, and it's just been it's been fun. Vikings just released their inactives for tonight's game. No real surprises here. Harrison Smith, Christian DeRUSHA. We knew about Harrison Smith has what the beat writers are describing as a personal health issue.
I'm not surprised that DeRUSHA isn't playing.
Yeah, same thing. No
What I've heard and what I know of Soldier Field, it's always a mess.
Yeah.
And he's coming off a knee injury, especially if you have someone behind him who can at least step in and not be too terrible of a fix.
And Soldier Field looks like, if you've seen any of the social media images, you can see the seams. And they had an Oasis concert there like a week ago.
They've had like 5 concerts in a row. It's just that field is always a disaster.
I know. I'm surprised the league lets them get away with it. It's unsafe, Thanks, Dave.
It is. They need to put turf down. You got it, buddy.
You know that feeling when you're about to cut into